Hi everyone! Welcome to episode 77 of Annijuuti Knits. Hi friends! Welcome back to my channel Annijuuti Knits. My name is Anniina and I'm a knitwear designer based on the west coast of Finland, and this is my channel where I share everything that I work on and all my new designs and all the knitting projects that I have currently on my needles. You're most welcome to join me here today, whether you are returning or a new viewer. Let's start with what I'm wearing, because someone might ask. This is actually a very well-known pattern. This is the Zweig sweater by Caitlin Hunter. I finished mine, I think, approximately a year ago. I didn't do the textured stitches on the body and the sleeves because I have used a tweedy yarn, so I didn't really feel like I needed to add any more texture, and I wanted to have a simple stockinette in the round project, so that's what I did, and I've been wearing mine a ton, and I just absolutely love wearing a fingering weight sweater. I have to say that it rides up a little bit on the neck, so that's why it sometimes bothers me, but yeah, otherwise than that, otherwise it's very comfortable and beautiful sweater to have, and I have loved wearing mine. I forgot to say that you can find me on Instagram as Annijuuti Knits and on Ravelry as Annijuuti. And if you have anything you want to share or tell me, you can also leave me or send me email to annijuutiknits@gmail.com. All right, let's begin. I have a ton of finished objects this week, and that's because I have been finishing up some lingering whips, and most of them are socks. So I have 3 pairs of finished socks, and now that we are in the subject of socks, today is the release day for Crystal Creek socks, and that's the first pair that I have finished. It's this lacy and textured pair of socks, and they are now out. And because it is October, and I love socks, and I usually do the fall of socks knit along for my socks, but this year I didn't. So I have put all my sock patterns for 20% off until the end of, it's the Monday 21st of October. So if you want to grab these Crystal Creek socks or any other one of my sock patterns, you can use the code SOCKLOVE at checkout on Ravelry and purchase any of my sock patterns with a 20% discount. These socks are made with Kettu Yarn's what is the base? It's everyday merino sock, so it's a 75-25 sock blend, and the colorway is called Eclipse, and it's beautiful. And yeah, I don't know why it took me so long to finish these socks, but it did. It has this cabley texture in the front, and then some lace details at the back, and they turned out wonderful, and I love them. And you can now also grab a copy of this pattern if you are so inclined. But this is my first finished object, and my second finished object is actually also a pair of socks, and it's a pair that I have also designed myself. These are the Honey Harvest socks. They are a DK weight sock pattern with this texture and cables, some moss stitch at the back. I'm very sorry if the lighting is not great. It is afternoon on a Saturday. What's the date today? It's the 19th of October. Yes. And it's very rainy and gloomy, and now is my chance. And if I don't film now, I don't know when I can. So we will work what we have, and yes, Honey Harvest socks. And these socks are made with the yarn that is no longer available. This is Cara Wrap's merino sock in the colorway Korpi, and it is a discontinued yarn, which is a shame because it's the perfect green, and they are just absolutely lovely and squishy. But these socks are now in testing, and they will be out, I hope, still in October. So if I can manage to edit and get everything done, this will also be out before the end of October. But those Honey Harvest socks, they are my second finished object. I was spending a weekend away with my husband last week, and it's not as romantic as it may sound, because he was participating on an backyard ultra race, and that means that he was running for 20 hours, and I was there to take care of him. And I saw him off, and he told me that I can take 6 hours and come back, and then I was there for the whole afternoon and evening, and then I went back to the hotel and went to bed so that I can drive us home. So I had, first of all, the trip was 500 kilometers away. So on a Friday we drove, or my husband drove all day, and I had a whole day of knitting time, and I worked on my Nordic Noel sweater, and I finished the sleeve. But I was also, during that trip, I was working on my son's socks. They are blowing out badly. It's not this bright of a red. It's yeah, the lighting does its trick. It's not this bright, but they are very bright red Magic Heel socks by Judy Jewel, who is the Autumn Acorn. And I test knit these socks for her when they first got out last spring, perhaps. I can't really remember. It was this year anyway. And my youngest son also requested these socks for himself. And first of all, he chose this yarn that is now just only on the toes. This is Camijo knit glitter sock. This was the full skein in her advent calendar last year. I don't know if there is a colorway for that, but these are the socks. And even though he chose this yarn and he was like, I want them to have this, but his brother's socks are in this red, and then he changed his mind. He was like, nope, I want them red, and I want the orange only in the toes. So I was like, fair enough, we will do that. And even though I wouldn't choose to combine these colors myself, they are his sleeping socks, and he loves them. So that's what matters. They are already a little bit worn because he has been wearing them already. So I also finished these socks on the trip last weekend, so it was a very sock heavy weekend, but those are the socks that I finished there. My fourth, and it's not even the final finished object, is the Nordic Noel sweater. It's unblocked. I'm now a little bit closer to the camera than I'm usually, but that's because of the lighting, and I will try try my best and show everything how well I can. This is the sweater, and you have seen it, but now it actually has 2 sleeves. This is unblocked. I have not blocked it yet. I haven't had the time to do that, but this is also a pattern in testing, and the release will be on the 15th of November, so there is still a little bit time to make your own Christmas sweater. So yeah, this pattern is for a worsted weight yarn or DK weight yarn. This sample is knit with Drops Daisy. It's a very affordable merino yarn. It's a non-superwash merino. It's very soft, but I can already tell that it's a little bit prone to pilling, even though with just the friction that I've had it when I worked on it, but that's fine. A Christmas jumper is only going to be worn a couple of times a year, and then you can easily depill it. So I wanted to use something affordable. I wanted to use something that is, at least here in Europe, it is readily available, and yeah, I think it's worth making this kind of a seasonal item in less expensive yarn, because then it doesn't get so much wear, and I really love the colors that Drops has in this line. So yeah, this is the Nordic Noel sweater, and I am actually now showing the other version that I'm working on, even though I still have one item finished, but I am working on a second version in this striping sequence, or stripy body. It's not really hard to show. Anyways, it's going to have a stripy body and stripy sleeves, and this is going to be for my husband. The other one is for a friend, and they are using the exact same yarns. I did mess up and I thought that I was making the size 2, but I was doing the size 3. Originally I thought that I would make my husband's version in red, like red as in the ribbing, and the first colorwork triangles would be in red, and then stripy body, and then red cuffs and hem. But somehow I did mess up. I was so eager to start, and I was doing the wrong thing. So I think I'm going to run out of yarn, because I had calculated my yardages or my meterage based on that I would use more of the red for the other sample, but then I will just order some yarn. I just want to do a couple of stripes and see how much yarn they eat, and then I can decide whether I need to. I do need to, because I only have, I think I have 2 full skeins, and I have a whole sweater to make. So yes, I'm going to have to order some more of the green, but exact same colorways and exactly the same, well, it's not exactly the same, but it does have the striping that is different. And I actually prefer to have this stripy version. I think it's more fun, it's more festive and Christmassy. So this is really something that I am eager to work on. I just have so many things on my needles that I haven't had the time. But Nordic Noel sweater, one done and one is going to be done soon. Let's take a deep breath and dive on into my last finished object for today. And this is something that if you saw my last video, you saw my little scarf thingy that was just an impromptu cast on, and I worked on it, and it was like an instant gratification project. And I have another one of those, but this is not the scarf actually. This is something else, and idea for this came out of nowhere. It came out of the blue, and it hit me so hard that the next day I had to start it, and it was, I think 2 days later, I had a finished item. And this is this little cowl slash hood slash snood. This is a, it's not meant to be a hood, like as in like fully covering your forehead, but something higher than a cowl that you can draw up and keep your ears warm. And I will show you how it works. So, as my husband said, this is like a grandma scarf, but this is something that you can have around your neck. This is the prototype, and I'm going to change the way that these cables cross, or this, I want this one to be on top and this on the bottom. And I want this neck piece to be a little bit further down, so I think it needs to be a little bit longer. I made this using Manchalopi unspun yarn. I think I used 90 grams out of the 100 gram plate, and I used exactly one ball of Filcolana Alva, which is a lace weight, is it alpaca yarn? I think it is. And I think that one plate of Manchalopi is enough, even if I would like to have this a little bit longer. But yeah, so you can draw it up. I don't know how much you can see, but I just absolutely love it. And I've actually been wearing it already because I wanted to test if it holds up, and I think it's perfect. And I already started the second sample, and for the second sample I'm using Drops Air with a strand of fluff. I am using, it was like a wool and bamboo, or cotton and bamboo fluff strand that I once got, and it works well with Drops Air, and I'm using those for my second sample. So technically this is not 100% what it would look like when it's finished, but it's very close. It's very close, and it's lovely and airy. And I can't remember, I think I used 7mm needles probably, and the braid is just so fluffy, and the squishy garter stitch, it's exactly as it was in my vision when I had it hit me. And this is something that I will now be working on, or I will make the second one and then work it up, or write it up as a pattern. And for the cold winter months, this will be coming out at some point. But not today or not tomorrow. And yeah, this was something that came out of a need because I really wanted to have this squishy and warm and lovely, something that I can pull up and keep my ears warm with. Those are all my finished objects. There was quite a few, and I don't usually have this many, but now I have been just clearing out my needles, and yeah, sometimes you have some more and sometimes you don't. But one thing that I also would like to share now that it's out and it is publicly announced is that I have a pattern in a magazine, in a Finnish magazine called Taito. And Taito came out with their 5th number for this, or 5th edition for this year. And my pattern, Hunaja sweater, is on it. I don't have the original sample because I haven't received it yet, so it's still coming back to me, but I have 2 versions of it, and both of them are made by my mom. And the first one is, first of all, let me show you a picture. This is how it looks like. These are the pictures taken by the magazine people, Taito magazine, and they are absolutely stunning. Hunaja means honey in Finnish, and it's a fingering weight sweater with lace yoke and some texture details, cropped length and cropped or 3/4 length straight arms or straight sleeves, and folded cuffs and hem. And I made mine using 100% Finsheep wool. It's a single ply Finsheep wool, and it's one of my favorite yarns, absolutely. I've used it so many times, and I've talked about it quite a few times. And this other version that I have here, this is made with linen quill. This is the size 1, and this is for my stepdaughter. And the sleeves are not straight, but they are tapered, and the length is full length because for an 11-year-old, I think it's more practical to have a sweater with full length sleeves and full length body. Yeah, let me show you the texture a bit close up. So there are these knots, some cables, and some lace work as well. It's a round yoke. Short rows are in the neck, and the original one has the ribbing in the neckline. My mom made a version in this. This was a silk and wool blend, and she made hers with just a rolled neck. And this one has full sleeves as well, but this one has the folded hem. And this is how it looks in orange. Yeah, and this is my mom's. She was test knitting this for me. She made the smallest size, and then she got so excited that she actually made another one for herself as well. And my mom often she tests my patterns, and it's very, very lovely to have her support me that way. And I don't always have the time to make everything myself, so it's great that she is willing to knit some of my patterns as well. But Hunaja is going to be out as an individual pattern next spring, and I have already made the English version. I will have it tested at some point, probably I don't know. We could do like a really long test period. It could be like, I don't know, 12 weeks, something like that, or even 15 weeks, because, you know, it will be 4 months before I get the rights back. So yeah, if you are interested in testing the hunaja for me, please let me know, and we will work something out, because I will have to have it tested in English, since it came out in Finnish only, and it has been tech edited in both languages, but the testnet has only been run in in Finnish. So I really want to do that also in English. If you are interested in testing the hunaja for me, please let me know, and we will work something out. I have a couple more projects. I didn't bring everything that I have, because I have a ton, and I already had quite a few projects here. But another thing that I would like to share is the test knit that I am working on myself. And this is a test for Rebecca Clow, the Creia Bea, the woman behind Creia Bea Knitting podcast, and the Creia Bea designs. And I have managed to make some progress on my Cara Wrap. This is all scrunched up because we had it with us in the car today. I will tell you later why. I'm all tangled up. So this is a wrap cardigan. Well, let me see how I can show it to you. So here's where I'm at. Last time I had worked the back panel until the arm or the sleeve separation, and I was here. So I have worked both fronts separately. Now I'm dropping stitches. Let me see, where's my stopper? I think I had it here. There's so many stitches now on the needles that my cable is not quite long enough. So I've worked both fronts. Now it's backwards, but you get the gist. So I have finished both fronts. I have done, here's the underarm. So I have worked from here to here as a full cardigan. And now last night I did pick up the first sleeve. I have worked 100 grams of the finship wool here on the body. So I did finish 100 grams, and I was like, now is a good time to stop for the body. And I'm holding it, I think I talked about this last time. So I'm holding two yarns together. The other one is now getting a little low. So I'm holding the finship wool, which is the lighter one, and then I'm using Woolly Knit 4-ply British wool, and they are creating this beautiful textured or marled fabric together. And I did pick up for the sleeves last night. I did the short rows, and I have done just a tiny bit. I think I did first set of decreases on the arm. So I decided to work on the sleeves next, because to be honest, I'm a little bit bored with back and forth the knitting. So I think I'm gonna work the sleeves up next, or at least one of them, and then I will be doing the rest of the body. There's not too much left. I think it was like 25 centimeters, and this is already, I think, approximately 18 centimeters or something. So I don't have too much of the body left either, but I will do the sleeve, at least one of the sleeves first. And this is already due in 2 weeks, I think. Now it's the 19th. I think it's the 7th of November or something like that. So I think I have plenty of time. I've been working on this whenever I've needed a break from my own stuff. So like in the evenings when I don't want to think about anything, I just work on back and forth, you know, stockinette in worked flat. So you don't really need to think about it too much. And if there's something that you need to think about, you can just take a look at the pattern that someone else has wrote. So this has been my kind of a rest project. So I have something to work on that I don't need to think about. So yeah, I've been really enjoying this pattern. I originally wanted to make the bust shaping and the waist shaping, but because I chose the size, I think I chose the size wrong, because I chose it based on my full bust measurement, and it wasn't very clear how you would choose or how you should choose the size. So I chose it to have like 5 centimeters of positive ease to my full bust measurement. I'm making size 5, and the bust shaping would have increased the bust circumference by another 5 centimeters. So I didn't want to add anything else. So I omitted the bust shaping. I just did the waist shaping so that I can cinch it in a little bit, because I have quite a big difference between my full bust and my waist. So I did the waist decreases instead, and it's fitting amazingly well. I did try it on. Maybe I'll put a picture for you to see. I didn't have the sleeve yet, but I did steam block it a little bit just to see if my front edge is too tight, but it did flatten out quite well with the steam block, so I'm not worried about that at all. It's going to be a lovely and warm and beautiful cardigan, and I can't wait to finish it. I think this will be the perfect pairing with like a dress, or I'm making the cropped version, so a waist length. And yeah, it's beautiful and it's well written. There's nothing really wrong about the pattern, so it's very well thought out. It's nice to have a pattern that tells you what to do and you just follow it, and it gives you a little break, especially if you are doing this for as a job, or even though it's a side job, but job nonetheless. All right, I have 2 other things that I have here, and they are not very exciting. They are both vanilla socks, and they are actually both my handbag socks. I forgot the other one to work, so I had to start another one, and today I took one of them with me, and I was just missing the toe decreases. We went to a Lego event today, so it was this Pipo Lego event here in Finland, and we went with my kids, or our kids, and I actually didn't knit there at all actually, but I had my knitting with me. I did knit some. This is everything that I did the whole day. 1.5 centimeters of cuff for for a sock. So the second sock, it needed just the toe. I grabbed the needles out because I was thinking that I can't work on decreases when I am with my kids and doing stuff. I ended up building Legos with my kids, and I wasn't really knitting. I just knitted a few rounds of the cuff, but it was nice to have a sock project in hand. This is actually some deep, like seriously deep stash from 20 years ago, I think. And it's a self-striping yarn, and I hate when it does this, you know, these little jogs. It's not even, but there's nothing I can do. I had wound up that leftover. I had made 1 pair of socks from this yarn, actually to my old boyfriend from 20 years ago. And I had wound the rest of it into 2 little balls, and they were starting from the same color, so good job, Anniina, doing that. So this is how much I got it. So I just need the toe. I just finished that other ball of yarn, and I will do the toe in black. So I have those in my handbag. Probably not gonna keep them for myself because I don't like the stripes cutting, or it bothers me, it bothers my eye that the stripe sequence is not very even. And also I remember my old boyfriend every time that I'm looking at those socks, so I will probably give them to someone else that don't have any memories of those. But it feels good to use up some old stash, and that is a German, I think German, maybe it was Regia or something else, sock yarn, deep stash. And it's good to feels good to use it up finally, even though the colorway does bug me a little bit. Because I wound up the beautiful camijo knit yarn for my son's socks, I did start another one, and I thought that this could be like a fun little festive pair for myself. It has glitter, it has gold glitter in it, Stelina, and the color is beautiful and it's very me. It's this reddish orangey tones, and I will make a fun little festive pair for myself. I did the picot folded down cuff, so it's a folded and knitted together cuff. I don't really feel like they hold up super well, so I think I'm not gonna make them like very high. I'm thinking like taller than a shorty, but still quite short. So if I'm wearing like stockings or leggings, I can just wear these and they're super cute. So I'm feeling like a little shorter leg and then a simple heel. I'm not sure. I might do the Moors heel by Knitting Traditions Inga. I've done that type of a heel a few times and I like it. It's not very durable because it's a stockinette heel, but it looks cute and it looks clean. So I think I'm gonna do this Moors heel for these socks because that's a very beautiful and sleek heel. So this is also a handbag sock. I've been holding it in my handbag for a couple of days now, and I haven't really worked on them too much, but if you know me at all, you know that sock knitting is my meditation and I always have to have a pair on hand. So those are my handbag socks. They are two of them, and we'll see which one gets done first. All right, this was a quite jam-packed episode. I hope I wasn't talking too fast. It was lovely to be here. If you want to grab any of my sock patterns with a discount, use code SOCKLOVE, and the code is valid until 21st. It's a Monday, 21st of October. Grab as many as you want, and yeah, I will come back in a couple of weeks and we'll see what I have next in line for you. But until then, I hope you have a wonderful day whenever you are watching this, and happy knitting. Bye.